patrol starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, so we're up by 4, and we get to Islanders Beach Club by 5, and then we monitor 14 miles of beach. So it takes at least 3 hours just to run the beach. And then if we find anything and we have to move it, that takes about 30 minutes, so you never know.
Now, where are you generally, what are you generally looking for?
We're looking for tracks.
Okay.
So as soon as we find a track, we follow it to the top of the track, and then we locate an egg chamber, and then we mark that. So if it's below the high tide line, the spring high tide line, we'll move it above that line just so it doesn't get overwashed over the 60-day incubation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. It's like, well, where do you move it to?
Just further up.
Just further up the beach? Okay, and then you mark it, so people kind of...
Right, so no one digs a sandcastle in it or puts a tent pole through it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and because I was curious about if people just happen to, what people should be looking for when they're on the beach.
Well, plus and we'll find it before most people do because we get out so early. But there's no question that it's a nest. It's got an orange placard on it that says "Federally Protected Species, Do Not Tamper." So they should know.
Take everything off.
So after college, I moved home. I grew up here in Bluffton, actually. And I wanted to learn to scuba dive after I got a degree in biology from Georgia. And I went to the local dive shop, and within a year I was a scuba instructor, so I was really into it.
Where was that dive shop?
It was on Matthews Drive.
Okay.
And they bought a dive boat to take people out offshore, but we had to travel for 16 miles offshore just to get to 70 feet of water, which is a diveable depth.
Yeah.
So we were there one day, and my job was to take the anchor off the wreckage so they could pull it up, so we were attached to the wreck, the boat was. And I was there by myself because there's no need to have more than one person doing that. But it was my opportunity to just hang there for a little while and get a dive without working.
Is that like the low person on the totem pole?
Yes.
It's like your job's to go get the anchor?
Yeah, so anyway, I saw a shadow, and I was 20-something years old, and I was not afraid of it. And now I probably would be, but it came closer and closer, and I noticed it was a sea turtle. It was very obvious. And I had been working on the beach with sea turtles, but I had never seen one in the water. Mm-hmm. And so I waited just to see if it would get close, and when it did, it was face to face with me. And without getting hit in the face, I would have to do this and fall down on the ocean floor while it hovered over me, which was quite an experience. And from that point on, it was just all turtles.
Yeah.
And I went to graduate school after that for sea turtle biology, which is the most non-lucrative field you can possibly imagine.
Well.
So I've been doing this for 21 years. Every turtle season I've been on some beach or another. And lately I have noticed in the last 3 to 4 years on Hilton Head that the holes are tremendous. I mean, they're big enough to be swimming pools, and some people do line them and put water in them. And the problem with that...
a pool at the beach. You know, there's an entire ocean.
The problem with that is you excavate a hole and you leave it open, the tide comes in, takes the excavation away, now you have nothing to fill the hole back in with. Right. So it stays there for weeks. And we just spent $20 million renourishing our beach in 2016. So it's like very disrespectful to destroy something that is public land, leave your litter behind. That's disrespectful. It can entangle sea turtles and trap hatchlings. The holes, hatchlings fall into the holes and can't get out. Nesting females will fall into the holes before she can get a chance, since they come out in the dark. They're not going to see it. And the other thing is abandoned property. So people come to town, they buy the tent, they buy the things that didn't fit in their car to bring back home, and they leave it there on the beach instead of putting it in an appropriate spot.
Yeah. And it seems like people would be really on board with a lot of this because, the litter on the beach, I mean, that's something people have been complaining about anyways.
Well, it's completely obvious to us, but I guess it's not to them. And, there's an issue with the trash cans, and that's starting to be resolved by the Hilton Head. Yeah. And the Turtle Trackers, a group that is formed in every beachfront community except for Port Royal Plantation. They are a group of women and men that go out each night and fill in these holes. They pick up trash, they educate the public, they try to give out the red film stickers to people who have flashlights. Yeah. And they have been a tremendous help, and that group started 3 years ago.
Okay. That's great. So you're getting a lot of citizen involvement.
A lot of citizen involvement.